Right. Let me go and open one notepad. Go and open one notepad. And let me keep here. Let me go and keep here. So what is the agenda for today's classes? What is the agenda for today's classes? In today's class, we'll go and discuss about the complete introduction to Microsoft Power Platform. In today's class, we'll go and discuss about what? Introduction to Microsoft Power Platform. So in the next coming 60 minutes of time, in detail, we are going to discuss about what type of software it is, what is the use of this Power Platform software, what we can do with the help of Power Platform software, and also we'll understand who will use the Power Platform and who will hire the Power Platform developers. So these are all the points which we'll go and discuss now in today's class in the next coming 60 minutes of time. So now, first let me go and list out all the different points what we are going to cover now in today's class, guys. So let me go and list out all the different points what we'll cover now in today's class. The first point to understand about what is Power Platform. And the second point to understand today's class is what is meant by business applications. What is meant by business applications. And next, the next point to understand now in today's class is how to implement the business applications using Power Platform software. How to implement the business applications using Power Platform software. And also, we'll understand the Power Platform architecture. We'll understand about what? Power Platform architecture. Let me show you the Power Platform architecture now. Let me just open the architecture. So this is what the Power Platform architecture is. So by the end of this today's class, we'll be understanding what is the architecture of Microsoft Power Platform. By the end of this today's class, we'll go and understand what the architecture of Microsoft Power Platform. So these are all the points which I'm going to discuss now in today's class, right? Now, among all those points, first let me discuss about what is Power Platform, guys. So now try to understand. For now, just try to understand at a high level, what Power Platform can do. Let me keep here. For now, at a high level, just try to understand what we can do with the help of Power Platform. So within the Power Platform, we can create apps. Power Platform will allow the developers to create some apps. Second point, within the Power Platform, we can create some websites. And within the Power Platform, we can create some chatbots. And within the Power Platform, we can do some automations. And within the Power Platform, we can store the data. It lacks as one data source. And also within the Power Platform, we can do what? Data analysis. Within the Power Platform, we can do what? Data analysis. So these are all the 6 points, or these are all the 6 things which we are going to implement within the Power Platform. So with the help of Power Platform, what we can implement? We can create apps, we can create some websites, we can create some chatbot, we can do some automations, we can store the data, and also we can do what? Data analysis. Now, how to go and implement all these 6 components within the Power Platform, we'll understand, guys. By the end of this today's class, you'll be understanding how to implement all the 6 components with the help of Power Platform software. But for now, just keep in mind what the Power Platform can do. These are all the 6 things the Power Platform can go and implement, right? Okay. And next, the next point to understand here in today's class is that is who will use the Power Platform software. Who will use what? Power Platform software. Along with this, we'll understand one more point. That is who will hire Power Platform developers. Who will hire who? Power Platform developers. So these 2 points also we'll discuss now in today's class. So now, these are all the points I'm going to discuss now in today's class, guys. I'm listing out all the different points which we are going to cover now in today's class. Now, whatever the points I listed here, each and every point we'll discuss in detail, right? Okay. So now among all those points, first let me start with who will use the Power Platform and who will hire the Power Platform developers. First, we'll understand these 2 points, guys. So now try to understand. First, we'll go and understand here who will use the Power Platform and try to understand who will use the Power Platform software. Let's say, let us say, if there is any company, let's say if there is any company, whatever the company is, guys, if you take any company, if there is any company, now what the companies will do, what the companies will do, the companies will do some business, as we know. If there is any company, the companies will do what? They'll do some business. Now let's take well-known companies for us. Let's take an example of Amazon. Let's take Amazon, well-known company for us. Amazon is one company. They're doing what business? They're doing some e-commerce business. And if you take some other company like ICICI, ICICI is one company. They're doing some business. What business? Banking. And let's take some other company like Swiggy. Swiggy is one company. Swiggy is doing what business? They are doing some food business, guys. So like this, if you take any company, whatever the company it is, what the companies will do? The companies will do some business. The companies will do what? They'll do some business. Now, let's take here Amazon is there. Okay, the companies will do some business. Let's take Amazon is one company. They're doing what business? E-commerce business. Now, do you people think that Amazon company directly will go and start doing the e-commerce business? Do you people think that this company directly they are start doing the e-commerce business? No. So before going to start the business, before going to start what? Business. What the companies need to do here is, before going to start the business, the companies need to do what? Let me mention here. Before going to start the business, the companies need to go and implement. The companies need to go and implement what? They need to go and implement the applications. They need to go and implement what? Applications. So now try to understand. Still now we discussed about what? Before going to start the business, before going to start the business, what the companies need to do? The companies need to go and implement some applications. Now, what applications the companies need to implement? What applications? The companies need to go and implement what applications here is? Business applications, guys. The companies need to implement what applications? They need to go and implement the business applications, right? Okay, right. Now we understand before going to start the business, the companies need to go and implement what? The companies need to go and implement some applications. What applications? Those are called as business applications. Right. Okay. Now, what applications are called as business applications? So let's take Amazon companies there. Before going to start the e-commerce business, I said that they need to implement some business applications. Now, what are called as business applications now? Let me give an example, guys. Among these companies, if you take any company, for all these companies, they'll have some business applications. Let me give examples. Let's take Amazon. Now, Amazon company will have some apps or not? Yes, Amazon company will have some apps. Now, app is one of the business application. Amazon company will have some app. App is one of the business application. And next, Amazon company will have some websites or not? Yes, Amazon company will have some websites. So website is also one of the business application. So nowadays they are creating the chatbots. Top MNC companies are creating some chatbots, right? So now chatbot is also one of the business application, right? So as they are using their business within the business, it is one of the business application. And next, Amazon company will go and do some automations or not? Yes, they'll do some automations. To do the automations, they need to have some other application, right? And next, if the company is doing some business, then definitely companies will have some business data. Now they need to store the business data. Where the companies will store the business data? Data sources. So data source is one of the business application again. And also companies will do what? They'll do the data analysis. They'll do what? Data analysis. So to perform the data analysis, we need to have some other application, guys. So now these are all called as business applications. Among these companies, if you take any company nowadays, if you take any company, so if before going to start the business, now the company need to implement what? Business applications. What are called as business applications? Apps. App is one of the business application. Website is one of the business application. Chatbot is one business application. Automation, there is one application you'll have. Data sources, data analysis, all this comes under the business applications, guys. Because why I'm calling it as business applications? Because you are using all these applications within your business. So now we understand, before going to start the business, the company need to do what? They need to go and implement some business applications. Now, what are called as business applications? These are all comes under where? Business applications. Okay, fine. So still now we understand, before going to start the business, the companies need to go and implement what? Business applications. What are called as business applications? All this comes under the business applications, right? Now, I need to go and implement this business applications, because I want to implement all the business applications now. So in order to go and implement all these business applications, we need to have one software. So what is that software nowadays the companies are using? What the software nowadays the companies are using in order to go and implement all these business applications means, what the software companies are using? Power Platform. So let me go and mention that point here, guys. In order to go and implement all these business applications, companies need to go and use some softwares. So what one of the software companies are using nowadays is what? Power Platform. So now we understand who will use the Power Platform software. Who will use the Power Platform software? Who will use the Power Platform software? As we understand, if there is any company, if the company wants to start any business, then before going to start the business, the companies need to implement what? Business applications. In order to go and implement the business applications, what the software the companies are using nowadays? Power Platform. So now we understand who will use the Power Platform, guys. And also one more point we understand here. What's the one more point we understand? Here we come to know that Power Platform is used for what? We understand Power Platform is used for what? We come to know Power Platform is used to implement the business applications. So 2 points we understand here. One is who will use the Power Platform. Second point we understand Power Platform is used for what? Power Platform is used to implement the business applications, right? Okay. And now the next point we need to understand here, who will hire the Power Platform developers? Now, who will hire the Power Platform developers? For this question also the answer is same, guys. So which company is going to use the Power Platform software to implement what? To implement the business applications. The same company will go and hire whom? The same company will go and hire the Power Platform developers. So which company is using the Power Platform software to implement the business applications? The same company will go and hire whom? Power Platform developers, right? Okay. Now we understand who will hire the Power Platform developers. And next point we need to understand here. So why these companies are hiring the Power Platform developers? Why they need to hire? Why all these companies are hiring the Power Platform developers? Because Power Platform developers will go and work with which software? They'll go and work with the Power Platform software. So with the help of Power Platform software, Power Platform developers will go and implement what? They'll go and implement what? Business applications. Once after implementing the business applications with the help of Power Platform software, with the help of the business applications, companies will go and start doing what? Business. So now we understand who will use the Power Platform and what is the use of that Power Platform software. And also we understand who will hire the Power Platform developers. Fine. Okay. So now from here we come to know that nowadays companies are using the Power Platform software. Companies are using what? Power Platform software to implement the business applications. Nowadays, companies are using the Power Platform software to implement the business applications. Okay, fine. And next, we need to understand from here, we need to understand 2 more points, guys. So now what I need to understand from here? So first point we need to understand here, try to understand what the first point we need to know. So I said that, what I said here, before going to start the business, what the companies need to do? The companies need to go and implement what? Business applications. I said that companies need to implement the business applications before going to start the business. Now, why the companies need to implement the business applications? What's the need? What is the need of these business applications? Why the companies need to implement all these business applications before going to start the business? This is what the first point I need to understand. Second point I need to understand here, how to implement this business applications with the help of Power Platform software. How to implement the business applications with the help of what? Power Platform. These 2 points we need to understand now. So let me go and mention here the first point. What is the need of business application? The first point we need to understand about what? What is the need of business applications? And the second point we need to understand how to implement, how to how to implement the business applications using Power Platform software. How to implement the business applications using Power Platform. These 2 points we need to understand now. Right? Okay. So now first let me go and discuss about what is the need of business applications. Why the companies need to implement the business applications before going to start the business. What's the need of them? Let me keep here, guys. What is the need of business applications is business applications are used to, these are used to implement, these are used to implement or streamline the business process of an organization. Simple. What is the need of business applications? Business applications are used to implement or streamline. What you want to streamline? I want to streamline what? Business process of what? Business process of the organization. So every organization, there is no doubt they'll have some business process, guys. If you take Amazon company will have some business process or not? Yes. If you take ICICI, they'll have some business process. If you take Swiggy company will have some other business process. Every company will have some business process. There is no doubt in that. Now I want to streamline that business process. I want to streamline the business process of the organization. Now, if you want to streamline the business process of the organizations, then must and should we need to go and use what? Business applications. So with the help of this business applications only, with the help of the business applications, we are going to streamline what you are going to streamline. We are going to streamline the business process of what? Organizations. So now we understand what is the need of business applications, why the companies need to implement the business applications before going to start the business. What is the need? Business applications are used for what? These are used to streamline. What they want to streamline? Business process of what? Organizations. Okay. We understand business applications are used to streamline the business process of the organizations. And next point we need to understand from here we need to understand about what is meant by business process, guys. Let me keep one simple definition about what is business process. Try to understand business process will involve in multiple activities, comma, tasks and rules that are used to implement the process of an organization. Simple. What the business process contains? Business process will involve in what? It involves in multiple activities. That means if you are doing some business, then in the business you will be doing some multiple activities or not? Yes. And we'll do some tasks. While doing these activities and tasks, we need to follow some rules there. So now by using what? You can define all these multiple activities, tasks and rules within the business means with the help of what? Business applications. With the help of the business applications only, we are going to implement all these multiple activities, tasks and rules that are used to implement the process of your organization. Right? Okay. So from here, we understand that what is the need of business applications and also what is meant by business process. Also what is meant by business process. And next point we need to understand here about how to implement these business applications with the help of Power Platform. I need to go and implement all these business applications with the help of Power Platform. Now, before going to understand how to implement all the business applications with the help of Power Platform software, we need to understand one more point here, guys. We need to understand one more point here. So what we need to understand here is, while implementing the business applications, there is one process we need to follow. It is not recommended to go and implement the business applications by your own. It is not recommended to implement the business applications by your own, guys. There is one process you need to follow. So what is that process? We'll understand. What is that process? We'll go and understand now, right? So let me go and mention that point here. While implementing the business applications, there is one process we need to follow. What is that process? We'll understand first. And then we'll go and understand how to implement this business applications with the help of our platform, right? Okay. And now, let me keep here. I said that while implement the business applications, there is one process we need to follow. We'll call it as business applications process. We'll call it as what? Business applications process. Now let me go and open the business applications process architecture so that you'll understand very easily. So let me go and open the business applications process architecture, guys. So this is what the architecture of business applications process architecture. So now, while implementing the business applications for any organization, we need to follow this process. This is the complete process of business applications. Now, first we need to start with what? While implementing the business applications for any organization, first we need to start with what? First, always recommended to go and start with front-end applications. First, they'll start with front-end. This is the first step. Step one is implementing the front-end applications. Front-end applications means what? Apps. Front-end applications comes in picture what? Apps, website, and then chatbots. These three will comes under the front-end applications. These three comes under where? Front-end. So now front-end means whatever the applications the customers are able to see with their eyes. If the customers are able to see with their eyes, those comes under the front-end applications. So apps, customers are able to see. Website, customers can see it. Chatbot, customers they can see. So these three comes under where? Front-end applications. Now, once after the front-end applications, second step is for what? Second step is to implement what? Data sources. So most of the times, second step, they'll go and give which preference for what? Data sources. Now, what is meant by data sources? Data sources, the place where the companies will store their business data. The place where the companies will store their business data, we'll call it as what? Data sources, guys. The place where the companies will store their business data, we'll call it as what? Data sources. And next, one more. Once after implementing the data sources, next third step is for what? Automations. Next third step is for what? Automations. They'll go and implement the automations now. This is the third step. And next, finally, the fourth step is for what? Finally, the fourth step is for what? Data analysis. So data analysis means what? Is the fourth step. Data analysis means what? Showing the data in the form of visuals or in the form of reports, guys. If you see, these are all the visuals. Showing the data in the form of visuals or in the form of reports, we'll call it as what? Data analysis, right? So now we understand this business applications process is a how many step process? Business applications process is a 4-step process, guys. We come to know that business applications process is a how many step process? It is a 4-step process. Now, what are the 4 steps involved in this? Step 1 is implementing the front-end applications. Front-end applications means creating apps, websites, and then chatbot. Once after front-end applications, next we need to go and implement what? Data sources. So data sources means what? The place where the company will go and store their business data, we'll call it as data sources. And next, once after data sources, next third step is what? Automations. Once after implement the automations, next finally the fourth step is what? Data analysis. Data analysis means what? showing the data in the form of visuals or in the form of reports. So now, these are the 4 steps involved in this business applications process, guys. So while implementing the business applications process, always we need to start with what? Front end only. Let's say instead of starting with front end, suppose think that you want to go on the first you want to do the data analysis. First you want to start with data analysis. Now it is possible to start with data analysis initially means no, guys. It is not possible. You are not able to do the data analysis. So why? Because if you want to perform the data analysis, then must and should we need to have the data sources. This data analysis depends on what? It depends on the data sources. Without having the data sources, you are not able to do the data analysis here, right? Okay, if you have the data sources, you can do the data analysis means again no, because again this data sources depends on what? This data sources, it depends on the front end applications. And also this automations, most of the times it depends on what? Data sources, right? And sometimes it depends on the front end applications also. So what we understand here now, whatever the business applications process is there, these 4 steps are connected with each other internally, guys. All these 4 steps are connected with each other internally. So how these 4 steps are connected with each other internally, and why this, how they are connected, why these to be connected, you'll be understanding. You'll understand how these 4 steps are connected with each other internally, guys, right? Fine. So just 1 second. Fine. Sorry for disturbance. So now let me go and keep that point here, guys. So as we come to know that, as we come to know, this business applications process is a 4-step process. Let me mention that point here. Let me go and mention that point here. This business applications process is a how many step process? It's a 4-step process. Business applications process is a how many step process? It's a 4-step process. What are the 4 steps involved in this? Step 1, front end applications. Step 1, front end applications. Step 2 is what? Step 2 is what? Data sources. And step 3 is what? Automations. And finally, step 4 is what? Data analysis. So these are the 4 steps involved in this. So now we'll understand what is meant by front end applications, what is meant by data sources, what is meant by automations, and also we'll understand what's meant by data analysis and how these 4 steps are connected with each other internally. How the data analysis depends on the data sources, how the data sources depends on the front end, how the automations depends on the data sources, how these 4 steps are connected with each other internally, you will come to know, right? Fine. Okay. Now let's start implementing this. As I mentioned already, when we are implementing the business applications process, always we'll start with what? Recommended to go and start with front end. Let me go and keep here the front end applications. Front end applications means what? Apps, websites, and then chatbot. And then chatbots. These 3 comes under where? These 3 comes under the front end. So now, one more point here. In order to go and understand this 4-step business applications process in a better way, to understand this concept in a better way, what I'll do here is, let us assume we are implementing this business applications process for one of the company, either Amazon, ICICI, Swiggy, any company. To understand the concept in a better way, let us assume we are implementing this business applications process for one of the company. Any company it is. Let's take Swiggy company. Let's take which company? Swiggy company. Now, we are Swiggy company is doing what business? Food business. Keep in mind these 2 points, guys. We are to understand the concept in a better way. We are going to implement the business applications process for which company? Swiggy. Swiggy is doing what business? food business. Keep in mind these 2 points. Now, Swiggy company, they are ready with front-end, guys. Swiggy company, they are ready with front-end applications. Now, if the company is ready with front-end applications, then slowly they can start doing the business, guys. There is no doubt in that. Let's take testing their business functionality or promoting their business. So they can start promoting. So like this, they can slowly start doing the business, right? So now here, as Imagine is doing some food business. Now as a customer, let us assume I'm the customer. Now I want to buy some food item from Swiggy. If I want to buy some food item from Swiggy, then what I need to do as a customer? As a customer, I need to go and download and install what? Swiggy app. First, we need to download and install the Swiggy app. Once after downloading and installing the Swiggy app, next we'll do what? We'll go and place an order. Next, we'll do what? We'll go and place an order. So now, once the order is placed, what happens? Once the order is placed successfully, in the next 30 minutes to 1 hour, Swiggy company will go and deliver that food item to that customer. Correct? Yes or no? Yes. This is what we know as a customer's case. As a customer, we know that we are placing an order. Once the order is placed successfully, in the next 30 minutes to 1 hour, hardly it will take 1 hour, Swiggy company will go and deliver that food item to us. This is what we know. But try to understand. So you are going to work as a Power Platform developer, right? In future, once after completion of this course, you are going to work as a Power Platform developer or a Power Apps developer. Now, as a Power Platform developer, you need to understand one point here, guys. What you need to understand here is, whenever the customer places an order, in the app, now what the customer is doing means, customer is generating some business data, guys. Customers doesn't know that they are generating the business data. But what is happening internally, whenever the customer places an order in the app, what the customer is doing is he is generating some business data, but the customer doesn't know. Let's say I'm the customer. I am placing one order in the Swiggy. If I place an order means I am generating some kind of business data for Swiggy company. Now, what kind of business data the customers will generate for Swiggy? Let me give you an example here. So what kind of business data the customers will generate here is, they'll generate orders data, like order ID. What is the order ID? Orders data like order ID. And they'll generate the sales data. They'll generate the profits related data. And also they'll have what? Food items related data, which food item the customer is placing the order. And also they'll generate what? Restaurants related data, which is the restaurant preparing that food. And also will generate what? Customers related data, like customer ID, customer name, mobile number, delivery address. So like this, lot of information, guys. Even order date and time, shipping date and time, deliver date and time. So like this, will generate some lot of information, lot of business data here. So now what we understand, whenever the customer places an order in the app, the customers doesn't know, but what is happening internally, if the customer is placing an order means he is generating this kind of business data. Now, where the Swiggy company will store that business data? Let's say I'm placing an order, I'm the customer, I'm generating some business data. That business data is also called as what? Orders data. We'll call it as what? Orders data. Now, where the company will store the orders data? Try to understand. Whenever the customer places an order here in the app, what happens here is, once the order is placed successfully, immediately the complete details of that order will comes into where? Data sources. The complete details of that order, case. Let's take I'm placing an order, right? Whatever the order I placed, once the order is placed successfully, immediately the complete details of that order will goes to where? It goes to the data sources. Now, what the data sources contains? Orders data. Orders data will call it as what? Business data, guys. We'll call it as what? Business data. So now we understand, whenever the customer places an order in the app, or they can place the orders on the website also. Whenever the customer places an order in the app or on the website, the complete details of that order will comes into where? Data sources. Now, what the data sources contains? Business data. Now, companies will store the business data in the data sources. In which format? Keep in mind, companies will store the business data in the data sources in the form of what? Tables. Companies will go and store the business data in the data sources in the form of what? Tabular format. That means in the form of columns and rows. Okay. We understand step 1 and step 2. We come to know that whenever the customer places an order in the app, What is happening internally means the customers will generate some business data that is called as orders data. The complete uh, data of that order will comes into where? Data sources. We understand step 1 and step 2. And next step 3, automations. Now, automations means what? Sending the automated emails to the customers, uh, sending the automated text messages to the customers, and getting the auto approvals. All this we can do automatically, guys. Sending the automated emails, messages, we can do it automatically. So now we need to understand where the Swiggy company will go and do the automations. Now try to understand, guys, where the Swiggy company will go and perform the automations means, if you observe, whenever the customer places an order in the app, whenever the customer places an order in the app, once the order is placed successfully, immediately, within the fraction of seconds, the customer will receive an email from the Swiggy. Yes or no? Yes, they'll get one email from the Swiggy. That, what is that email? Confirmation email of that order, confirmation of the order. In that email, the subject will be, your order is placed successfully. Thanks for placing the order. And in the body of that email, you can see which order you placed, that complete details of that order, right? So now, whatever the mails the customers are receiving, once the order is placed successfully, now do you think that those mails are sent by the humans or not? Whatever the mails the customers are receiving once the order is placed, do we people think that those mails are sent by the humans? Yes or no? No. Online people, please respond. Whatever the mails the customers are receiving, those are sent by the humans or not?
No.
Yes or no? Are you able to unmute?
No, no, yeah, no.
So
It's
those are not
automatically.
sent by the humans. Whatever the mails the customers are receiving once the order is placed, those are not sent by the humans. Those are automated emails, guys. Now, why the Swiggy company is sending the emails to the customers automatically with the help of some systems? Why they are not using the humans to send that email? Because there are two major reasons, guys. What are the two major reasons is? If you observe in the Swiggy app, complete in India, let's take India, complete in India, major cities like Hyderabad, Chennai, Bangalore, Mumbai, Pune, Calcutta. Let's take major cities. Uh, Complete in India, how many customers will place the orders just for one day? Let's take some average numbers on an average. Let's say in India, around 50,000 customers or 50,000 orders are placed. Let us assume. So let's say 50,000 customers are placing the orders just for one day in India. Now, for all the 50,000 customers, for all these 50,000 customers, Swiggy company need to send one confirmation email or not? Whenever the order is placed, Swiggy company, they need to send one email to that customer that your order is placed successfully. So 50,000 emails to the customers just for one day. Not only sending an email to the customer, they need to send an email to the restaurants also, whichever the restaurant is preparing, that is going to prepare the food. For that restaurant also, they need to send one email, right? So now 50,000 emails to the customers, 50,000 emails to the restaurants, total 1 lakh mails. Now tell me, online people, now it is possible to send 1 lakh mails per day with the help of humans. Humans can able to send the 1 lakh mails per day. Yes or no?
No.
No, it is not possible, guys. Humans are not able to do this work, sending 1 lakh mails with the help of humans. Okay, let us assume Swiggy company wants to do this work with the help of humans only. So Swiggy company is hiring some big manpower. They're hiring some thousands of employees. Let's take they're hiring some 30,000 employees to send the emails. Maybe this 30,000 employees, yes, maybe they can do. They can send 1 lakh mails per day. But the second reason here is, okay, up to here it is fine. 30,000 employees, 1 lakh mails per day. Okay, fine, good. The second reason here is when the customers will receive that email, once the order is placed in the app, immediately within the fraction of seconds, guys, we don't find a delay. Hardly it will take 4 to 5 seconds, not more than that. Hardly it will take maximum 4 to 5 seconds. So now tell me, even though you have 30,000 employees or 50,000 employees is there, now this 30,000 employees can able to send the email to the customers in 4 to 5 seconds. Even though you have 30,000 employees, these 30,000 employees, within 4 to 5 seconds, they can able to understand what is the order a customer is placed, which customer placed the order, what is the order ID, which food item the customer is placed, what's the customer name, email ID, delivery address. Understanding that orders data, composing the mail, sending that email in 4 to 5 seconds. It is not possible even if you have thousands of employees also, guys. So if you want to do this kind of work with the help of humans, it is not possible. We are not able to do it. So like this, every company will have some repeated work process. This is one of the repeated work process, guys. This is one of the repeated work process for Swiggy. So like this, companies will have some repeated work process. If you want to do this kind of repeated work process with the help of humans, no, it is not possible, guys. Humans are not able to do this kind of work. So now, instead of going and doing this work with the help of humans, companies are doing this work with the help of what? Systems. That doing this work with the help of what? Systems or some softwares. So if you are doing some work with the help of systems or softwares, we'll call it as what? Automation. If you are doing some work with the help of systems or the softwares, we'll call it as automation, right? So now we understand where the Swiggy company will go into the automations. Once the order is placed, whenever the customer places an order, what happens? The complete details of that order will comes into where? Data sources. Once the data comes here into the data sources, immediately by taking that data as a reference, Swiggy company will go and send one automated email to that customer. When the customer will receive an email, once the order is placed, within 1 or 2 seconds, that data comes into the share data sources. Once the data comes here, by taking that data as a reference, immediately they'll go and send one automated email to that customer, right? Okay, so this is how where the Swiggy company will go and do some automations. And next, finally, one more step, data analysis. Data analysis means what? Simple guess. Data analysis means, we can say in a simple words, that showing the data in the form of visuals or in the form of reports. Showing the data in the form of visuals or in the form of report. So now, if you want to create the visuals or reports to analyze your business data, then we need to have the data first. If you want to create the visuals or reports, then first of all, we need to have the data. Now, from where the companies will take the data? I want to create some visuals or reports to analyze the data. So if you want to create the visuals or reports, first of all, we need to have some data. So from where the companies will take the data to create the visuals or reports? Yes, please respond. Already we understand
Data
where the
sources.
companies
That is
data sources. Correct. As we understand already, companies will store the data in where? Data sources. Correct. In the data sources, companies will store the data in the form of what? Tables. Companies will store the data in the form of what? Tables. Right? Okay. Now, if you have the data in the form of tables, then it is not easy to analyze the data. Guys, let's take this. There is one table. The table name is orders table. In this table, we'll have the orders data. Let's take, I'm having 10 million orders data is there. 10 million orders data is there. Now, it is possible to understand if the millions of records is there in the form of table means no. It is not easy to analyze the data if the data is in the form of table. So now, in order to go and analyze the business data in a better way, what the companies are doing here is, by taking the data from this data sources, they are creating what? Visuals or reports. Whatever the data is there in the tabular format, they are converting the data in the form of visuals or reports, guys. They're showing that same data in the form of visuals or reports. Once after creating the visuals or reports, by seeing these visuals or reports, companies will go and do what? They'll go and analyze their business data. Analyzing the business data, we'll call it as what? Data analysis, right? So if you want to create the visuals or reports, must and should we need to have the data sources. Without having the data sources, it is not possible to create the visuals or reports, guys. Now let me show you one report, how it looks like, guys. Let me show you one report here for you. Let me go open one report here. Ah, let it open. right? I'm opening one report here, and this is one sales report, guys. As I'm discussing about the orders data, so I'm having one table here called orders table. There is a table, orders table. In this table, I'm having around 10,000 orders data. 10,000 orders data, like order ID, order date, shipping mode, customer ID, customer name, segment, country, city, state, postal code, region, uh, product ID, category, subcategory, product name, sales, quantity, discount, profit. These are the columns we'll have. 10,000 orders data is there. So now here there is a table. In this table, let's take, I want to understand region wise what are the sales. I'm having these regions now. I want to know which region is doing what sales. Now it is possible for you to understand which region is doing what sales if the data is in the form of table. No, it is not possible to understand it, guys. So what I'm doing here, whatever the data I'm having in the table, I'm showing that data in the form of visuals here. So this is one complete one report. This is one report. These are all called as visuals. These are all comes under where? Visuals. Now this report name is what? Sales analysis report. Now here I'm showing some data. Whatever the data is there in the table, that data I'm showing here. So here I'm showing what? Total quantity. Quantity means what? Total number of products they are selling to the customers. And next, total sales. What the total sales they are doing? Next, what the total profits they're getting? Total number of orders placed, total discounts they are providing to the customer. And here I'm showing the sales by category. Which category is doing the highest sales? Technology is doing the highest sales. Office furniture second highest. Office supply third highest. And here you can see region-wise sales. Which region is doing highest sales? West region. Which is doing less sales? South region. And here we can see year-wise sales. Which year you are doing more business? 2017. Which year you are doing less business? 2015. And here you can see subcategory wise profit. Which subcategory is doing the highest profit? Copiers. Which is doing the second highest, third highest. And if you see, there are three subcategories where they are getting the negative profits, right? So by seeing this visuals or the reports, now what the company will do, they'll go and analyze their business data, right? So if you have that data in the form of tables, how much time it will take for you to analyze the data? First of all, is possible? No, it is impossible to analyze this data. So in order to go and understand the business data and to take the better business decisions, companies are preferred to analyze their business data nowadays in which format? Visuals or report format. Now by seeing these visuals or this report, companies will go and analyze the data and they will take some better business decisions to enhance their business. Okay, so this is all about what is meant by data analysis. So now we understand what is this four-step business applications process, guys. We discussed about what's meant by front-end applications. We discussed about what's meant by data sources. We discussed about what's meant by automations and also what's meant by data analysis, right? Now let me list out all the points. Whatever I discussed still now, let me go and list out all those points. The first point, front-end applications. What's the meaning of what's the use of this front-end applications? As I mentioned already, front-end applications is nothing but front-end applications are nothing but creating them, or front-end applications are nothing but creating the apps, comma, websites, comma, chatbot. These three comes under where? Front-end. And next, data sources. I said that what's meant by data sources? The place where the company will go and store their business data. What's meant by data sources? Let me mention here. The place where the companies will store their business data is known as data sources. The place where the company will store their business data will call it as data sources. And next, automations. I said that what's meant by automations? Automation is nothing but doing certain repeated work automatically without any human interactions. If you're doing some work automatically without any human interactions, we'll call it as an automation. And next, finally, data analysis. I said that what's meant by data analysis? It is one process, guys. The process of converting the business data into actionable information. Actionable information means visuals or reports. Now, why I'm calling this visuals or reports as an actionable information? Because let's take, by seeing this visual, this is the sales by region. By seeing this, they can understand the west region is doing the highest sales, east is doing the second highest sales, and if you see south region is doing the least sales. Now they'll take an action here. Immediately they'll take an action that why south region is doing very less sales. What the reasons behind it? They'll arrange a quick meeting with the south region sales manager, and they'll come to know what the things behind it, why they are doing very less sales. Now, to increase the sales in the south region, what the necessary steps they need to take. So by seeing the visual, they are taking some actions, right? That's why I'm calling these visuals or reports are what? Actionable information, right? Okay. So now this is what the 4-step business applications process, right? So now next I want to understand here how to implement this business applications process with the help of Power Platform. Now we need to understand about how to implement this business applications process with the help of Power Platform software, right? Okay, this is what we need to understand now, how to implement the business applications process with the help of Power Platform software. Let me go and start understanding how to implement. Before that, let me mention a few points here. So first, let me keep here what is meant by Microsoft Power Platform. Now try to understand, guys. So Microsoft Power Platform is used to implement the business applications process of an organization. Simple. What is the need of this Power Platform? As we know already, Power Platform is used to implement the business applications process of the organization, right? Okay. Now I want to implement it. Now I want to implement this 4-step business applications process with the help of Power Platform. Now how to implement it? Now, before going to understand how to implement the business applications process with the help of Power Platform softwares, we need to understand one more point here. What we need to understand here is Power Platform architecture. Let me go and discuss about what Power Platform architecture. So this is what the Power Platform architecture is the Power Platform architecture. And now, keep in mind, before understanding the architecture, we need to keep in mind 2 points here. The first point we need to understand, already we know Power Platform is used for what? It is used to implement the 4-step business applications process. It is used to implement the 4-step business applications process. And the second point we need to understand here, Power Platform, it is not a single software, guys. Power Platform means don't think it is a single software. Power Platform means it is a collection of software. There are different softwares is there in the Power Platform. What are the softwares we'll have? You will come to know. For now, keep in mind these 2 points. Power Platform is used to implement the business applications process. And second point, Power Platform is not a single software. It is a collection of softwares. Now let me start implementing this. So now to implement the business applications process, always we need to start with what? Front end. As we know, always it is recommended to go and start with front end applications. Now let me keep here. I need to start with front end applications. Front end applications, step 1 is what? Front end. Now in order to go and implement the front end applications, we have the different softwares here. One is Power Apps. Second one is Power Pages. Next, third one is Power Virtual Agent. These are 3 softwares we'll have to implement the front end applications. Next, once after the front end applications, next second step is what? Data sources. Second step is what? Data sources. So now data sources means what? The place where the company will store the business data. So now here, if you want to store the business data within the Power Platform, let's say if you want to store the business data within the Power Platform means, then go and use Dataverse. What is this Dataverse? Dataverse is a data storage software within the Power Platform. If you want to store your business data within the Power Platform, then go and use Dataverse, guys. But not only Dataverse, This Power Platform will allows you to store the data in other data sources like SQL Server, SharePoint, Oracle, MySQL, Excel, CSV, SAP HANA, Dynamic 360, Salesforce. Like this n number of data sources, not one or two. Power Platform will support to store the data in almost all the data sources, guys. More than 1,000 plus data sources, it will support you to store the data. But inbuilt is what? Inbuilt is Dataverse. If you want to store the business data within the Power Platform, it's go and use Dataverse. Not only Dataverse, even it will allows you to store the data in another databases also, like SQL, SharePoint, Oracle, MySQL, Excel, CSV, SAP. Like this will store the different data sources, right? And next, third step is for what? Automation. Third step is for what? Automations, Power Automate. So in order to go and perform the automations, go and use which software? Power Automate. And next, finally, data analysis. Now to perform the data analysis, we'll have one software here. What's that software? Microsoft Power BI. The fourth step is data analysis. To perform the data analysis, there is a software called Microsoft Power BI. What's the use of this Power BI software? It is used to create the visuals of the. So now we understand Power Platform is not a single software. Power Platform is a collection of softwares. So these are the different softwares we'll have, which listed in this architecture. So let me go and keep that point here, guys. So let me go and mention that point here. As we come to know, Power Platform is not a single software. Power Platform is not a single software. It is a collection of softwares. Power Platform is a collection of softwares, right? Power Platform is a collection of softwares. Now, what are the different softwares we'll have here? Let me list out all those, guys. Let me list out all those. First one is what? First one is Power Apps. Let me list out all those. First, I'll keep here Power Apps. Next, I'll go and keep here Power Automate. Next one, Power BI. Next, the fourth one is Power Pages. The fifth one is Power Virtual Agent. And the sixth one is Dataverse. These are the different softwares we'll have. Now, let me go and understand how to implement this business applications process with the help of this collection of software. With the help of this collection of softwares, how to implement this business applications process, right? Fine. Let me start implementing. First, let me start with front end. In the front end, first I want to create apps. To create the apps, go and use what? Power Apps. So what is the use of this Power App software? As we come to know, Power Apps is used to create apps or the forms within the Power Platform. Within the Power Platform, if you want to create apps or some forms, go and use what? Power Apps software. And next, second, websites. Now to create the websites, go and use what? Power Pages. So what is the use of this Power Pages? Power Pages is used to create the secured web pages. Here we don't call it as websites. In the Power Platform terminology, we'll call it as web pages, right? And next, chatbot. Now to create the chatbot, go and use what? Power Virtual Agent. So let me keep here. What is the use of this Power Virtual Agent is? This Power Virtual Agent is used to create the AI chatbot. It is used to create what? The AI chatbots. Chatbots means it is just like a customer support, guys. It is just like what? Customer support. So if you want to create the chatbots, then go and use Power Virtual. Power Virtual Agent is used to create the AI chatbot. And next, once after front end, next data sources. Now, as I mentioned already, what is the inbuilt data storage software in the Power Platform? Dataverse. Now, what is this Dataverse? Dataverse is a database software. It is a database software which is used to store the business data within the Power Platform. So it is one of the database software which is used to store the business data within the Power Platform, right? Right. And next, automations. Now, in order to go into the automations, the third step, go and use which software? Power Automate. So now what is the use of Power Automate? Power Automate is an automation software. Power Automate is an automation software which is used to automate the repeated work process. So as I mentioned already, every organization, they'll have some repeated work process, guys. There is no doubt in that. Every organization or a company will have some repeated work process. Now, if you want to do this kind of repeated work process, sorry, not that one. Every organization will have some repeated work process. Now, I want to automate that work process now. To automate that work process, I need to have an automation software. What that software I'm using here? Power Automate. So that's what I'm mentioning here. Power Automate is an automation software which is used to automate what? Repeated work process, right? And finally, data analysis. Now, to perform the data analysis, go and use which software? Power BI. So what is Power BI? Power BI is a data analytics software which is used to analyze the business data. Simple. Power BI is which software? It is a data analytics. Anyone, either data analytics, data analysis, both are same guess. It is a data analytics software which is used for what? Analyze the business data. Where the companies will store the business data? The data sources. Whatever the companies are storing the business data in the data sources, to analyze the data, we'll use Power BI. With the help of Power BI, we can create the visuals or reports. By seeing that visuals or reports, companies will go and analyze the business data. So now, with the help of this collection of softwares in the Power Platform, we are able to implement this 4-step business applications process or not? Yes, we can. So with that, we understand with the help of this collection of softwares in the Power Platform, we are going to implement this 4-step business applications process. And also one more point, whatever the 6 softwares I listed here, softwares and their usages, the same point I mentioned at the beginning of the session, if you observed or not, what the Power Platform can do. I said that Power Platform can create what? Within the Power Platform, we can create the apps, you can create the websites, can create some chatbot, automation, data source, data analysis. Whatever the 6 points I listed in the beginning of the class, the same points I'm mentioning here or not. So these are all the softwares I'm going to use here in order to go and implement this 4-step business applications process, right? So I done with the session. Let me conclude it. I done with the session. I'll conclude the session. So as I mentioned, in today's class, you'll be understanding the complete introduction to Microsoft Power Platform. So whatever the points I listed here, we discussed all these points. We understand what is Power Platform. We understand what is business applications. We understand how to implement these business applications using Power Platform. And also we understand the Power Platform architecture. Next, we understand within the Power Platform how we are going to implement all these things and why we need to implement. Next, we understand who will use the Power Platform software and also who will hire the Power Platform developers. And from here, we come to know that what is the need of business applications and how to implement the business applications using Power Platform. So these are all the points which I discussed in today's class. So let me make a note. I'll take the questions now. Before going to take the questions, please make a note. So when the new batch will start, guys. So today is the demo, right? So when the new batch will start, let me go and copy something from here. So to write everything, it will take some lot of time. I'll just copy and paste it from here, guys. I'll do just copy paste. Just copy from here to here. Just copy, paste it. Right. So today is the demo, right? I'm giving some introduction to Power Platform. So when the new batch will start? So new batch will start in the next week, guys. New batch will start in the next week. That is on Thursday, on 26th of Feb. Let me keep here. New batch will start on 26th of Feb. That is on Thursday. That is on Thursday. And the batch timings is evening 6 to 7 p.m. And the batch timings is evening 6 to 7 p.m. This is the batch starting date. New batch will start from coming Thursday, 26th Feb. Batch timing is evening 6 to 7 p.m. So now, next point, coming 2 more classes are free. So you have the access to attend the 3 free classes, guys. Even you don't want to pay any registration amount also to us. You have the access to attend how many free classes? 3 free classes. Right? Today is the first class. Coming 2 more classes are free. Now what I will discuss there in the coming 2 more classes? Practicals. So in today's class, I haven't shown you even 1 point practicals, guys. Every point I shown you theoretically. So whatever the points I discussed theoretically in today's class, each and every point I will discuss practically in the next coming 2 to 3 classes, guys. In the coming 2 to 3 free classes, I will be discussing practically at a high level how the Power Platform softwares will work. So I'll show you how to create an app here, and I will show you how to submit the data to the sources from the app. And then I'll show you how to take the data from the data sources and how to do some automations. And also I will show you how to take the data from the data sources, how to perform the data analysis. So whatever the 4 steps I discussed here, every step I will show you practically in the next coming 2 to 3 classes. Yes. So as this coming 2 more classes are free, as I'm going to discuss some practicals there, don't miss them. So try to attend those classes where you will get some hands-on experience, some practical knowledge, right? So coming 2 more classes are free. Try to attend them. Online people who are joining for today's class, use that same link. Whatever the link you are using today's class, use the same link to attend the next coming Thursday and Friday's class, where we'll discuss some cuts. Right? And next, once after completion of today's class, once after completion of this class, you will be receiving one email, guys. In that mail, I will share what? I will share the class notes. This complete class notes, I will share it with you. This complete notes I will share, right? Along with the class notes, I will share what? Recorded video. Today's class video also I will share it with you. Next, I will share what? Course content. I will share you the course content. So I think all of you received the course content. If not, I will share the course content again. This is the course content. Clearly, I listed here what the topics I'm going to discuss in the coming classes. You please go on to walk through this content once so that you can understand what the topics we are going to discuss in our upcoming sessions. It will be around 15 pages of curriculum. So please go and walk through each and every page and understand what the points, what the topics we'll go and cover in our upcoming sessions, right? And next, how many days the course duration? Course duration is 2 months, guys. 2 months is the course duration. Daily 1 hour session, Monday to Friday. Monday to Friday will be the classes. Saturdays and Sundays, mostly we don't have the classes. Only weekday, daily 1 hour class. Monday to Friday is the 2 months is the course duration. And next, live classes access. So within 2 months, we'll complete the course. There is no doubt in that case. So next, how many months we have the access to attend the live classes? You have the access to attend the live classes to 6 months from the date of joining. So why I'm providing these many days, 6 months to attend the live classes means because most of the people are coming to my classes is working professionals. Already they are working in some other technology. So due to some personal reasons, they are not able to complete attending the live classes in 2 months, within these 2 months. So keeping in mind all the reasons from the student's point of view, so I'm providing maximum extent of 6 months to attend live classes. Within 6 months, it is more than enough time to attend the live classes. It is your responsibility to complete attending the live classes within 6 months. After 6 months, you don't have the access to attend the live. You need to go to the recordings, right? Fine. So now I said that 2 months is the course duration. And what the skills you are going to learn in this 2 months, guys. So in this 2 months, you will be learning Power Apps and Power Automate. These two, Power Apps and Power Automate, these are the core skills we are going to learn. Both Power Apps and Power Automate, we are going to discuss from basics to advanced. From basics to advanced level. So we'll Power Apps and Power Automate will cover here from basics to advanced. Along with this Power Apps and Power Automate, we'll be discussing some SharePoint and Dataverse concepts, not complete SharePoint developer role. We'll be discussing some concepts which are required for us in Power Apps and Power Automate. Whatever the concepts it is required for us in Power Apps and Power Automate, those concepts I will cover in the SharePoint and also the Dataverse, right? Not complete SharePoint developer, not a Dataverse developer, guys. So you are not going to work as a database developer here. Your role is an application developer. So you don't bother about this. So I'll be giving some basic introduction about SharePoint and also Dataverse. But we are going to focusing on what? Power Apps and Power Automate. Right. And next, coming to the registered students, people, those who got registered with us, what the benefits you will get, guys. So you will be getting the class notes, everyday class. Every class will have some running note. I will share that running notes with you. And most importantly, all recordings. Every class recording you will get. So how many years you have the access for that recordings? 2 years, guys. 2 years you will be having the access for the recordings, right? And next, we'll share the interview question and answers with you. We'll share the resumes with you. We'll share the projects details to keep it in your resumes. And also we'll conduct the mock interviews. So along with this, what add-ons you'll get? License. So in order to do practice Power Apps and Power Automate, you need to have the Microsoft 365 developer account, guys. You need to have the Microsoft 365 developer account. If you want to purchase this account, you need to pay at least $5,000 per month to Microsoft. So we'll provide that license for you free of cost. We'll share the license for you, like with username and password. So these licenses you can access for 6 months. 6 months, you can access them. We'll provide the access for the licenses to practice for up to 6 months. And as I mentioned, live classes. How many months you have the live classes access? 6 months from the date of joining. So these are all add-ons. People, those who got registered, you'll be people getting this add-ons. And next, coming to the job opportunities. So most of the people will have one question in their mind. So as there are 6 softwares is there in the Power Platform. Now to get the job, you need to learn all the 6 softwares means? No, guys, not required to learn all the 6 softwares. In Power Platform, there are different job openings is there. Different combinations of jobs we'll have. What are the combinations we'll have? One is Power Apps and Power Automate. This combination will have the more number of job openings, guys. So who can go and learn this Power Apps and Power Automate? Only these 2 skills. People, those who already working in SharePoint, people, those who are already working in Dynamics, people, those who are already working in Power BI, .NET, Java, C#. These people, most importantly, SharePoint people, Power BI people, Dynamics people. You people you need to update your skill with Power Apps and Power Automate. If you are not updating your skills, then you will be outdated. In very soon, your company will terminate. There is no doubt in that. There is no any other alternatives for those people. Most importantly for SharePoint, Dynamics, and Power BI people. These people you need to update your skills with this Power Apps and Power Automate, right? And next, another combination, along with Power Apps and Power Automate, you need to have any database knowledge, guys. Not all, anyone. I'll recommend to go and use SharePoint. So who can learn this Power Apps, Power Automate, and SharePoint concepts? People, those who are very new to the IT, who have some career gap, who are switching their career from non-IT to IT, who are coming from non-technical to technical. So along with Power Apps and Power Automate, better to have some SharePoint knowledge. That to not complete, guys, at least intermediate. Intermediate knowledge in the SharePoint is fine enough. Because anyway, you are not going to work as a SharePoint developer. You are going to work as a Power Apps and Power Automate developer. But as a Power Apps and Power Automate developer, we need to have some knowledge on the SharePoint. That's why I'll recommend to go and learn SharePoint here. This is one combination. This complete is one combination. Another combination is what? Power BI plus SQL. Power BI and SQL Server also will have the job openings, guys. Another combination is what? Is the one. All the softwares. Power Apps, Power Automate, Power BI, SQL, SharePoint, Dataverse. All these combinations also, there are jobs is there. It is up to you, guys. You can go and opt anyone. So in the 2 months of course duration, as I mentioned already, we are going to discuss about what? Power Apps, Power Automate, SharePoint, and Dataverse. These are the concepts we are going to cover. Power BI, it is not a part of this curriculum. So people, those who are looking for Power BI and SQL, yes, we are providing the Power BI and SQL, but it is not a part of this 2 months course. It is a separate course. People, those who are looking for Power BI, you can just reach out to my front office team. My front office team will provide more information about it. And next, we'll have the WhatsApp community for Power Platform training, guys. So I think most of the people haven't joined the community. I'm not sure why you people are not joining the community, guys. So, okay, my team will send the mail to you, but sometimes mails you are not able to go and check the mail every day, right? Or every half an hour, every 1 hour. But you see the WhatsApp in at least every 10 minutes, according to my knowledge. Everyone will see that WhatsApp at least every 10 minutes. So you please join in the community. I'm keeping the community link in the chat box. Most of the people are not joining in the community. Please join there to get the latest updates, about the Power Platform training. Any update about the Power Platform training, I'll post in that community only, guys. So you please go and join in that community to get the latest updates. And if you have any questions regarding the batch timings, fees details, you can reach out to my team. I'm providing the front office team details in the chat box, right? Now go with the questions. Now, before going to take the questions from your end, the most commonly asking question, guys, most of the people will have one thing in mind. Now, to learn Power Apps and Power Automate, is there any prerequisite? Is there any prerequisite to learn Power Apps and Power Automate? The answer is no. No prerequisite to learn Power Apps and Power Automate. You don't require any prior coding skills or IT knowledge to learn Power Apps and Power Automate, guys. Anybody can learn it. Why? Because here, first point, this Power Apps and Power Automate doesn't come under the programming part. It is not. It doesn't come under the programming part. It is a non-coding. It is a low code. So here in Power Apps and Power Automate, most of the work, around 60 to 70% of the work, 60 to 70% of the work will be done by using GUI options. That means just drag and drop. And next, remaining 30 to 40% of work will be done by using some functions. So how we'll have the functions in Excel, like lookup function, filter function, aggregate functions, if condition, switch case, same type of functions we'll have. Here we don't write any C, Java, Python, .NET code. There are some inbuilt functions will be there. Just we need to understand when to go and use which function. That's all. So as most of the work will be done using GUI options, remaining work will be done just by using some functions. So you people don't require any prior coding skills to learn Power Apps and Power Automate. So anybody can learn this. So by learning this comfortably, you can do the job as a Power Apps and Power Automate developer role. Fine. I'll stop here today, and we'll be discussing from here in the next class on when. The continuation of today's class is on when? 26th Feb. That is on Thursday. At what time? Evening 6 to 7 p.m. Right? 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. So what I'll discuss there? Practicals. Practical at a high level. We'll be understanding how to implement this 4-step business applications. Right. So now let's go with the questions. Now, online people, now if you have any questions in today's class, you can please raise your hands. I'll talk to you one-on-one now.